Hello, a very good day to everyone. Our group name is Mochi, and we are going to present about our group research project, which we are focusing on the problems secondary school students often face while constructing ideas in essays and memorizing essay forms in English. Before I begin my part for this presentation, let me introduce my lovely members. Beforehand, we have Alya binti Yayah, MARLIA anak KILAT, DIYANA, and me myself, Alya SYAZWINA. Alright, so first of all, we bring the first focus on our research project about the students' difficulty in constructing their ideas and sentences, as well as having trouble remembering essay format when writing. So here we believe that majority students, especially students that are in band A1 and A2 level, will be facing this problem. Therefore, we decided to do our group research by using and solving this problem statement. Next, what is the research questions regarding this topic? There are at least 4 research questions that we are able to find out while doing a detailed research about this topic. And the first research question is, what skills or strengths do the students have in writing an essay? The point of questioning this is because we want to get a deeper understanding about each student's strengths when they write an essay. Next question is, what is the main weaknesses and difficulties that the students face when trying to come up with an idea in an essay? This is very important, as we must know that the students' weaknesses first before we proceed to help them improve in their writing. So other than that, we also insert the third question here, which is what are some of the ways and learning theories we can implement in helping students construct ideas and remembering the correct structures of any essays. Learning theories is absolutely essential whenever we want to do a specific or clear research. Last but not least is, will there be significant or huge changes if we try implementing proposed methods and intervention within the students in helping them with essay writing? Alright, so this question is used to get the hypothesis on our research. Either it will bring a great impact for the students, or maybe could be a negative impact as well. Therefore, it is important for us to do these research questions as to avoid any miscommunication among our research project. Next, what is the aim for our group project? The aim for our group project here is to help students easily come up with ideas when writing an essay and help them to memorize the right structure or format for each different essay form. And as for the objective of our group project is to enhance students' ability in constructing and formulating good ideas in their essays writing. The second objective is to guide the students in writing their ideas in the right structured essay. Alright, so that's all from me. I will pass the next presentation members. Thank you.
Hi, my name is MARLIA anak KILAT, metric number 147440, and I will be continuing the hypothesis and theory framework part. For this proposal, our hypothesis is we believe that there will be significant change and differences after we implement the proposed method and intervention as we look through the student's essay. And this result is compared to before the proposed method was implemented. We have 2 theory framework. The first framework called Ideas Construction Theory Framework. For this framework, it is advisable to use cognitive and constructive learning theory because the process of constructing ideas is based on the student's background knowledge. That is why the cooperative learning style is suitable to increase the students' knowledge of the certain topics. It can be combined with discovery learning style so that the students are able to explore the topic in further details. Working in group can help the students to view the topic from others' point of view. So with the new perspective, getting a new idea will be easier compared to stuck with their own perspective. The sharing from the group members can further help them to understand the topic better, as well as the discovery learning by using project-based activity to get them to explore the knowledge that they already have. It also helps to expand their learning boundary. There will be intervention as well, such as building the relationship among the students, besides preparing them to be able to work in team. It can be implemented by giving them a complex task or project for them to work on as a group. As for the enhancements, exposure to the activities that involve them to interact socially will definitely help them. It's not only helping them to build their knowledge in different perspectives, they also can improve their social and interacting skills, besides promoting the teamwork spirit among the students. The second framework is called Memorizing Form Theory Framework. It is created to counter the students' difficulty in memorizing essays format. For memorizing matter, it is advisable to implement behaviorism and constructive learning theory, because to be able to memorize the essay forms, the students need to understand the format by doing repetitive exercise that require them to keep motivated to do so. Giving them reward or praises can certainly increase the motivation. Flipped classroom is one of the student-centered learning style that can be used for this framework. Moreover, implementing the reward system will make the learning environment more interesting. For the intervention, implementing the use of learning materials that requires the student to use their senses is advisable. For example, visual learning activities such as mind mapping and audio material uh, learning activity like songs. This kind of intervention will appeal to the students' learning ability since everyone have their own learning style. Some can remember better if they saw the essay format visually. That's why for the enhancement, we use collaborative and project-based learning. Because students are easy to demotivate. That's why they need learning activities that can keep their spirit up and keep them motivated. That's all from me, and on to the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hello. My name is Diana binti Abdul Aziz and my metric number is 147541, and I will be explaining our collecting data method and analyzing data method. So the method that we use to collect the data is mixed method, which means we'll be using both qualitative and quantitative methods so that we are able to get the most accurate data that we need for this project. The first method that we use is observation, where we observe the target population during their writing exercise. By observing the students, we will be able to pick up their pace and knowledge when it comes to writing. The next method will be survey questionnaire, where we prepare a survey questionnaire that has been created using Google Form, and it will distribute it via online platforms like WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook. The responses will be taken from our target population, which is mainly the students in Form 4 secondary school. And the last method for our data collecting will be writing test. So for the writing test, there are only selected students that we pick from the target population. We'll be taking the test after the implementation of the frameworks, because this test is to collect data that can support our hypothesis. So because we only pick selected students, we limit it into 15 students only to take this writing test. With each of them will with different levels of learning proficiency. So for the analyzing data method, it is the data collected during research that will be analyzed so that it can be presented as reliable and accurate information in our research report. This is so that it helps us to come up with the conclusion and real solution of our findings and research. So there are three methods that we have chosen. The first one is reporting findings, where we will create a report based on our collected data and findings. So the report basically will be a direct explanation of the gathered data in the form of statistic without any interpretations. Uh, for the next method, the second method, it will be descriptive analysis. Uh, Compared to reporting findings, descriptive analysis is more like an elaboration of the reporting findings. It will fill with details of visible data, such as consistent patterns or themes on data, which will be summarized so that we can come up with a conclusion for our research. The last method is inferential analysis, uh, where it is a process where we make generalizations of a bigger population and make inferences or predictions about the outcome of our research. Although the prediction will be fully based on the data that we obtain, this is so that will our final result will be based on the probabilities of our research interests. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. My name is Alya binti Yayah, number matric 1472276, and for my part, I will be presenting the population and sampling, the instrument that we use in collecting our data, and also the intervention that we will implement in the classroom. So for population and sampling, the population that we will be doing our research with is the one of the class from one Malaysian secondary school. Specifically, the target population is Form 4 student who possess criteria such as having trouble writing an essay in English, having trouble generating ideas when writing any types of essay in English, example, narrative essay, formal letter, and also descriptive essay, and so on. And the final criteria is the student will be having problem with trying to remember and memorize the structure or format of an essay. So, for example, a student might be confused with how to write the structure of informal essay and also the structure of formal essay, as both are quite similar. So that is the criteria for our population. And because of our population being in a small group, our sampling we will be using is the non-probability sampling, specifically convenience sampling. Because due to time constraint and also non-probability sampling being cost efficient, we will use non-probability sampling, specifically convenience sampling, because the students are conveniently there and we will be able to easily access to the students to do research. So that is population and sampling. The next is instruments and also interventions. So for instruments that we will use in collecting our data, as you know, we are doing mixed method, which is there will be qualitative and also quantitative. So for qualitative, we will be doing observation. So the observation, the way we record our observation is through writing instead of trying to record it using videos and audio and so on. So we will write what we observe into a lesson plan or report. We will also have a previous article and studies that we will use as a guidance to strengthen our intervention. Next is we will be using Google Form, where we'll be giving the students a survey to evaluate them and we will use two types of survey, which is the pre-research survey and also the post-research survey to evaluate the results of our intervention. The final instruments is the performance assessment, where we will use writing rubrics to test or assess the students' progress after our intervention. Therefore, we will use writing rubrics, and that is for instruments. And for the final part is the intervention. So for the intervention, we will be doing first building relationship among the students, because as you know, one of our learning method is project-based learning and collaborative learning and also discovery learning. So we will need to first implement building relationship among the students to promote teamwork. Next, we'll be doing the intervention of implementing all kinds of complex and interesting projects and tasks in classroom for them to solve together and do discovery learning. And for the final intervention is that we will use visual learning. We will be implementing visual learning by using presentation, multimedia such as graphic, and also video and so on. So that is all for my part. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.